So, as we start here, um, let's talk about ancient India. And the first thing you need to do, I have two maps down here. We're going to find out that the early Indian civilizations began around the Indus River in what's called the Indus River Valley. They were peaceful civilizations. The river was very slow and mellow, which indicates maybe that they didn't have worries about floods or famines. It was consistent and regular, and so much so that they didn't even have weapons in this civilization. Well, around the year 2000 BC, or actually I probably should call it more specifically 18 to 1500 BC, a group came into the area named the Aryans. Okay, and the Aryans came from this area of northern Iran called the Hindu Kush mountain range. And even to take it back one step further, the Aryans who didn't have written records, so we don't really know this stuff. A lot of these things we're figuring out through architecture, through archaeological digs, through tracing weapons and linguistic patterns, because we find out that the Aryan civilization comes into Greece and Europe. They also come down into India, and there are shared words in the Greek language and the Indian language. Also similar tools and weapons that can be dated to similar time periods. Now, this Aryan race can be very controversial because they were around for such a long time, or so early historically, that sometimes people will claim that their actually country was part of this Aryan race, specifically Hitler. Okay, Hitler tries to claim German greatness by saying, actually, you know, the Aryans were Germans, so therefore we are a great ancient civilization, because historically the Germans weren't, they didn't have great civilizations. The Romans and the Greeks wrote about the Germans. They would say these were savages, right? They were barbarians. But Hitler tried to make the Germans seem great by claiming that actually the Germans were the Aryans. There's no proof of that, but both the Germans and even Russia sometimes wants to claim that no, actually these Aryans were us. So coming back to my PowerPoint, we're going to see that the Aryans came in. They brought advanced weapons, advanced tools. They brought a language system that is still, you can see traces of it today in Indian and also in Greek. And it's also assumed that they brought with them a caste or a class system, and that they put themselves at the top of the class system. Now, in the Indian class system, you can never move up or down. You're stuck in your class forever and ever, and your family is stuck there forever and ever. And some people suggest this is how the Aryans tried to maintain power in India. But after they left and other Indian groups come in and take over, the class system sticks, and it will stick for the next few thousand years. Also, around the year 600 BC, two of the world's great religions began in India. And I have an interesting thing. I kind of said I'd show you this. Let's take a look at a list of the world's most populous religions. What religions have the most followers today? And here's the list. So number one on the list is Christianity. Number two is Islam. Number three is Hinduism. Yeah, that's India, 600 BC. Then is non-religious. I don't know if that counts as a religion. Maybe it does. What do I know? Then Buddhism is number four. So really number 3 and 4 of all time come from India. Number 1 and 2 are relatives of Judaism. And as we come down, we have traditional Chinese religions, or maybe ethnic religion. That's a blended group. African traditions. Sikhism, I think, is also from India. Spiritualism. And then there's Judaism. coming in down in this area. Shintoism is from Japan, and let us all give a shout out to Rastafarianism, Jamaica, in the house. So let me get back now to my PowerPoint. Two important powerful religions began in India during this period. Around the year 250 BC, we have the Murian Empire. You can see it united a massive, massive part of India, and they used Buddhist ideas. It oftentimes are considered to be the greatest Indian empire of all time.